In a quiet kitchen on a storm-soaked night, one message changes everything. She thought she knew the man she married until a single notification exposed the life he'd been living without her. From the first word of betrayal to the last slam of the door, the day I confronted my husband's secret is a tense, emotional journey into trust, deception, and the courage it takes to walk away. As the storm rages outside, the truth unravels inside, and by the time morning comes, nothing will ever be the same. This fall, some secrets don't just break your heart, they set you free.
Hello! If you like stories like this, subscribe to this channel to not miss new videos.
Day I confronted my husband's secret. It was raining that evening, not a gentle drizzle, but the kind of storm that rattled the windows and turned the streets into mirrors. I remember standing at the kitchen counter, my fingers tapping the cool marble, the air heavy with the smell of fresh coffee that had gone cold hours ago. The phone lay in front of me, the screen black, but my pulse still thudded with what I had just seen. It was a message that wasn't meant for me, a short string of words that would carve open my life in one motion. I can't wait to see you tonight. Don't forget the red dress. I replayed it in my mind, over and over, each time tasting more of the metallic bitterness it brought. The contact name wasn't obvious, just an initial and a heart. But the photo, the way he smiled in it, wasn't the way he smiled at me anymore. I heard his car pull into the driveway before I saw the headlights sweep across the living room wall. My stomach twisted. The clock read 8:47 p.m. He was late. He was always late lately. The front door clicked open and he stepped in, shaking rain from his hair. His coat dripped onto the hardwood, and he tossed me the same smile he'd worn 1,000 times before. The one that used to feel like home, but now felt like a lie wearing my husband's face. "You're still up?" he asked, hanging his coat without looking at me. I didn't answer. I let the silence spread between us like smoke, creeping, suffocating. He glanced at me finally, sensing it. "What's wrong?" I picked up the phone from the counter and slid it across to him. He looked down at it, then back at me, his eyes flickering with something: surprise, guilt, calculation. I had seen that flicker before in other people. I never thought I'd see it in him. "I think you should read the last message," I said, my voice steady, though my hands were gripping the edge of the counter hard enough to hurt. He hesitated, then unlocked his phone, scrolling. A sharp breath escaped him, like he'd been caught mid-step. "It's not what you think," he started, but the words felt so rehearsed, so thin, I almost laughed. "Then tell me what it is," I replied, my tone sharper now. "Tell me why she's wearing a red dress for you, and not for her own husband. Oh, wait."
Then tell me what it is, I replied, my tone sharper now. "Tell me why she's wearing a red dress for you and not for her own husband. Oh, wait, she doesn't have one, does she?" The rain pounded harder outside, the sound filling the room when neither of us spoke. He rubbed his forehead, as if this was exhausting for him, as if my world hadn't just split down the middle. "I didn't want you to find out like this," he murmured. That was the moment, the exact moment, something inside me went cold. Because he wasn't denying it. There was no confusion, no misplaced number, no misunderstanding, just the quiet confirmation that I had been sharing my life with a stranger. The confrontation stretched into an hour of half-truths, broken excuses,
and tears that felt useless now. By the end, I wasn't shouting, I wasn't crying, I was just done. I stood, walked to the closet, and pulled down the small suitcase we always kept for weekend trips. My hands moved quickly, folding clothes without really seeing them. "Where are you going?" he asked, his voice tight. "I don't know," I said. "Somewhere without you." When I stepped outside, the rain hit my face like ice. The air was sharp and alive, and for the first time in months, maybe years, I felt awake. I didn't know where the road would take me, but I knew it would be away from the man who taught me what betrayal felt like. And that night, as the storm swallowed me, I promised myself one thing. This would be the last secret he'd ever keep from me. 3 years later. The sea air was different here. Saltier, warmer, and full of voices speaking languages I didn't yet understand. I had moved to the coast a year after leaving him, trading the gray skyline of our old city for the slow rhythm of tides and the laughter of strangers in open-air markets. I no longer checked my phone for his messages. I no longer scanned crowds for his face. The version of me that lived in that kitchen 3 years ago, frozen, holding his secret in my hands, was gone. I opened a small café by the pier. People came for the cinnamon bread and stayed for the view. I learned the names of the fishermen who brought me fresh catch in the mornings, the artists who sold their paintings on the boardwalk, the elderly couple who drank coffee here every Sunday just to watch the sailboats. Sometimes, in the quiet hours before opening, I thought about him. Not with longing, not with anger, just as a chapter I'd already closed. I had heard, through a mutual friend, that he'd married the woman in the red dress. The irony was that not even a year later, she left him for someone else. It was almost poetic, but I didn't celebrate it. Life had already given me my victory, freedom. One evening, just as the sun melted into the horizon, a customer left behind a red scarf on one of the chairs. I picked it up, running my fingers over the fabric. For a second, it reminded me of that night. The rain, the message, the suitcase. But the weight in my chest didn't come back. I smiled to myself and placed the scarf in the lost and found basket. Some things weren't mine to carry anymore. The waves kept rolling in, steady and sure, and I realized I had become like them, moving forward, never looking back.
Hello! If you like stories like this, subscribe to this channel to not miss new videos.